Welcome to Make Money Moves Podcast. I'm your host, Al, and today we're going to be talking about how normal habits quietly kill your wealth, or our wealth, if you will, right? So here's the thing. This episode is going to focus on the core promise that you don't lose wealth from big mistakes like most of us think. We actually lose it from the small habits that we just don't notice. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Pay no check, yeah, I changed my mind. From broke to boss, now I'm on my grind. Mic in my hand, I'm claiming my time. Make Money Moves Podcast, my line. I changed from inside. Now I shine.
Yo, welcome. Man, I'm so excited. This is episode 3, and we're going to be talking about something crazy when it comes to this wealth, right? It's so dangerous that we don't even see the danger as it hits us. So here's the thing, right? The danger that hurts us the most is the danger that we don't see coming, because nobody really goes broke overnight. I mean, this is not 1929, the stock market crash. There's no explosion. There's no headlines. No single reckless moment that ruins everything. Instead, it happens quietly, right under our nose. It's the small decisions, the ones that we wasn't really thinking about. One small decision, it's like dominoes, then there's another and another and another. All of them feel normal, and you even feel justified, and sometimes even harmless. And then one day, you wake up and you're wondering, how am I working this hard and still behind? And that's what we're talking about here today. No failure, no irresponsibility, just normal everyday habits that nobody warns us about, because everyone is doing them. Me, you, everyone, right? But until you can identify the threat, we'll keep making the same mistakes. Because once we know better, we do better. See, look, normal doesn't equal harmless. Normal just means it's common. Everybody's doing it. Subscriptions are harmless. Convenience feels deserved. Upgrades feel earned. Finance feels flexible. Minimum payments feel responsible. Here's the truth that most people never slow down to see. And that is the habits that compound. Just like you compound interest, these habits compound. Just like that interest. And unfortunately, bad habits compound too. Not dramatically, not loudly, not all the time anyway. They compound silently. That's why these habits don't trigger alarm bells, they don't make your spidey sense go off, and they don't feel like bad decisions. Like I said, they feel like just everyday normal life things. And that's death by 1,000 conveniences. Yep, death by 1,000 conveniences, because we got Uber Eats, we got DoorDash, all these different conveniences, but we pay for it. Let's walk through a normal day. Let's think about this. You wake up, you grab your coffee, maybe not at home, maybe at Starbucks, who knows? You order breakfast because time was tight leaving the house. You drive a car that you're still paying for, but you're at home getting ready and you're streaming something while you're getting ready. You swipe most times without even thinking. I mean, nothing outrageous, nothing out the norm, nothing crazy. But now let's zoom out. Let's go to that 50,000 feet view. Now I want you to think about something. How many subscriptions do you have that you don't actively use? How many conveniences replaces intention? How rarely do you question your spending? And how often do you say to yourself, I deserve this? Or do you replace I deserve this with this is aligned with me? You see, none of this feel like dramatic. It doesn't feel like a movie. It doesn't feel like something bad is going to happen. And that's why it's so dangerous, because there's no warning signs. There's no red tape, no caution, which makes it super dangerous. Because the biggest leaks in wealth don't come in like a flood or a tidal wave. They drip slowly. And those drips, if they're not fixed and they get ignored, they can be catastrophic. And I know you're probably looking at yourself like, man, am I weak from doing this? It's not that you're weak. You're human. So here's something important. Our brain is wired for ease. We go to the path of least resistance. It's not made for optimization. When we're tired, let's be honest, we choose convenience. When we're stressed out, we're choosing relief. And when we get overwhelmed, we avoid numbers, avoid anything they're going to call work. That doesn't make us irresponsible. It only makes us human. That's all. I can't stress that enough. See, modern life is designed to remove friction from our life so we can go towards that path of least resistance. But what it does is it moves that friction to our thinking. See, canceling a subscription takes a little bit of effort. So we're going to have to go in and search and find which subscription we got and then cancel it. Or question our habits take energy and we're like, I don't have the mental capacity for it. I don't feel like dealing with it right now. Changing defaults takes attention. Are we really got time to pay attention to that? We're going to tell ourselves, I don't have time to do that right now. I'll do it later. So what does the brain do? It sticks with what's familiar. Hey, this is normal. This feel right. Let me just stay here. And that familiarity slowly becomes our financial ceiling.
What if shopping could earn you cash instead of just costing you? You've been stuck in the cycle, tap, swipe, spend, watching your paycheck just disappear. But one day, after you stumbled onto this app called Rakuten, you ask yourself, why am I paying full price when I don't have to? But then you think, maybe it's just another gift. Then one of your friends tell you about this app called Rakuten, who makes them money and gives them cash back and rewards for thousands of stores every time they make a purchase that they were made anyway. You try it once, you discover hidden deals, compare prices, and you start winning. Shopping becomes a strategy. Every tap pays you back, and you still get what you want. You share Rakuten with your friends, watch your income grow, and become more financially confident. Download the Rakuten app today and keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket.
You know, there's a quote that anchors this episode by James Clear. He says, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. And that applies directly to money. Every swipe is a vote, every subscription is a vote, every ignored statement is a vote. But for the type of life that you're reinforcing, not for being good or bad with money, type of life that you say, this is what I want. Or this is not what I want, but this is what I'm going to stick with based off of our habits. Let's name them. Not to shame you, but I want to identify them. But so we can see them clearly, right? Let's identify them so we can make them visible. 1, the subscription creep. What's that? That's when you get a subscription here, it costs a few dollars, another few dollars here, another few dollars there, until you're funding something that you don't even remember choosing. Let's think about it. How many subscriptions do you know that you even have, but you're still paying for it? 2, the convenience as a default. So what convenience are we talking about? We're talking about the DoorDashes, the Uber Eats, we got food delivery, we got rush shipping, time-saving upgrades. We're buying back our time, but not converting into value. That doesn't make sense to me. 3, lifestyle autopilot. I don't know, there's a movie called Click, and he put his life on autopilot sometimes, and when he put his life on autopilot, he missed a lot of things. And when this happens, you may earn more, but you also spend more. You're not intentionally doing things, you're automatically doing them. And then there's 4, the emotional spending window. What is that? About last night, the stressful days, the reward moments. Your spending becomes an emotional regulation on how you feel. I was stressed out, I need some retail therapy. Or man, I'm gonna go out with the boys because, this woman's getting on my nerve, or whatever's going on, I'm gonna have a beer, or I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go shop and make myself feel better. Or, I need that power suit, that power dress. Did our emotions do that? Or was that literally something that we logically thought about and put into place? And then there's 5, the I'll fix it later syndrome. I think we all have that, right? Statements unopened, accounts unchecked, habits that's unquestioned, and sometimes they later become never questioned, and never becomes normal. That becomes the thing to do. So let's slow this down all the way. All the way down, because we may be going a little bit too fast. No multitasking here, just focus. Ask yourself these honest questions. Which expenses never get reviewed? For whatever reason, you just never look at them. What purchases happened when you were tired, you were stressed, you was laying in bed, you was emotional, you was hungry, you went to the store? What purchase happened and you're just feeling emotional? What habits feel small, but they happen every single month? Do you really watch enough Netflix to pay a subscription for it? Do you watch Hulu that much? Ask yourself, what have you normalized that you once said you would never do? If nothing changes, your habits, nothing changed, where would you be in the next 10 years? Not in theory, but in reality. Because awareness doesn't fix everything. Let's just be honest. It doesn't. Because just because you know about it don't mean you change it. But it's a step if you want to change it. Because you now begin to look at how to change something. So by knowing that awareness, it interrupts that autopilot. And that interruption is where you gain your power. Where you become stronger, more prepared for everything that's coming up in life. For your financial future. So here's the habits that replaces all the others. So ask yourself, is this aligned with the life I want? Or this is just me going on autopilot because this is normal? Because let's be honest, you don't need to cut everything. I know a lot of people are like, I need to tighten my belt. I need to stop doing this. You don't need to cut everything. You don't need to be extreme. And you don't need to feel guilty because everybody makes mistakes. It's not the mistake that you made. It's what you do after the mistake that defines you. You just need to stop letting normal make decisions for you and you make them for your future. See, the enemy isn't what you think. It's not. You thought the enemy was the debt and everything else, and the debt collector, the bill company, but it's not. And that's what we're identifying. We're opening your eyes to it. Today, we didn't talk about the banks. We didn't talk about your bosses. We didn't talk about the economy. Only thing we talked about was habits. And the reason why is because habits play a big impact in your life and everything you do and how you live. Because that's where wealth quietly dies or slowly grows. It's up to you. So with that, in the next episode, we're going to finally name the enemy that's trying to destroy you. And here's the twist. It's not the system. It's closer than you think. So stay with me and be prepared to identify the enemy and see exactly what's going on. So you can finally meet that inside threat and combat it with preparation and opportunity. If this episode felt like I was talking to you while I was saying what's been on your mind, what you've been thinking, or opened your eyes to something, I want you to go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, tell us what's going on, tell us how this has impacted you, and share it with others so we can grow our channel and grow and inform more people so they can be able to help themselves as we help them too. Share with somebody that you feel like they're stuck, they're having a hard time, because the enemy thrives in silence, and we can't be silent anymore. We got to be broad and spoken. So with that being said, let's make our next move our best move, because the only way to make money move is to make money move. Peace.
Pay to a check, yeah, I changed my mind. From broke to boss, now I'm on my grind. Like in my hand, I'm claiming my time. Make money moves, podcast my line.